is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Good morning. Welcome aboard, boys and girls, to a Thursday edition of the show. I hope we're sounding good. I hope it's all coming through. Yep, it looks like it's coming through. All right, there we go. Looks like we're doing a little better audio-wise today, and I have no idea what happened yesterday because I really did nothing. It's just weird, but you know, what are you going to do? Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. I see the YouTube channels already heating up with the folks already chiming in on a beautiful Thursday. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I hope you all are well. Remember, of course, to smash the hell out of that like button. That is the most important thing you'll do for this show today, and every single day, by the way, is smash that like button. And, of course, reach out to us on the YouTube channel. We got the Super Chat going on. We got Twitter. I got my Twitter feed going on, too. So just in case you need to reach out to us, got a question, got a comment, all those kind of good things, you can reach out to us now on Twitter, as we'll be rocking and rolling here for a couple of hours. Plenty of stuff to talk about last night. We can start off with the Trey Young show. That was fun, man. I mean, I wonder how some of you out there that maybe aren't big basketball fans, did that do anything to win you a little bit more? Because you start to think about some of the performances that are going on in the NBA right now. And, I mean, Devin Booker and Trey Young alone are worth the watch. You know what I mean? While Durant was going on and he got eliminated and, you know, and so on and so forth, we could talk about some other pretty awesome performances by some of the players around the league. But I got to say, it's been a lot of fun watching these NBA playoffs. And I know that the season is it's funny because in basketball, it's almost like the regular season doesn't really matter that much. It's really all about the playoffs. And it seems like the regular season is the least interesting part of the NBA year, right? Because it's the playoffs and the off season. Those are the two things that really bring it to the table. And it's almost like in the regular season, that cliche that all you got to do is tune into the final 2-3 minutes and you'll find out everything you need to know about the basketball game. And that's because people don't necessarily take the regular season serious. You know what I mean? And so we get to the playoffs and you're hoping that you get some pretty good performances. And, man, that's exactly what we're getting. And I love the fact that we've got these teams. We talked about it earlier in the week, and we've got teams that have never won it, except, you know, for the Bucks. They're the only team, and really the last time they won it, it's been so long that it almost counts like you hadn't won it, really. And it's kind of like our Dolphins. I know they've won a couple titles, but man, it was in the early 70s, man. We're talking almost 50 years ago. It's crazy. You just want to get past that. You get to 50 years of not winning a title, it's almost like you haven't won a title. It's been so long, a couple generations down the line. It's crazy stuff. And so it's nice to see that mix of players. But Trey Young, man, he just put on a show. Was it 48 points on 17 of 34 shooting? He had 7 rebounds, 11 assists, did have 6 turnovers, but he has the ball the entire time. The passes, the alley-oop off the backboard to John Collins, West Palm Beach's own John Collins, that was pretty awesome. That was a lot of fun, and it was done on purpose. It's something that's part of their repertoire. It's something John Collins talked about, that they've done it in the preseason, and they did it in the preseason this year. It's something that they practice. Who was it that it was? So forward that was on Twitter, and he was talking about Bazemore. And Bazemore used to play for Atlanta, and he says that they would practice that they would do it in practice. So it wasn't something done by accident. It wasn't like a brick that Trey put up and completely missed the rim, and it hits the backboard and it ricochets, and then you get lucky that John is right there. No, it was timed out. And I mean, it's just watching the entire thing, watching the Hawks. The Hawks and the Suns are a fun story. You know what I mean? That's what it is. They're fun to watch. They're fun to root for. They're refreshing faces, right? And that's the other thing, that Trey Young and Booker, while we knew both were already all-star caliber players, they are now elevating themselves to that point, and everybody's talking about, wow, Trey Young's now a superstar. And I mean, yeah, you got to kind of put Trey and Booker in that superstar caliber, position, because they are starring in the biggest moments of the season for their team. They're coming through in the biggest moments for their team. And so that is the definition of being a superstar. You carry your team, you come through for your team, you're fearless in those kind of moments. And that's what we're watching from Booker. That's what we're watching from Trey Young. And it's almost like Trey Young is a mixture of Steph Curry and Allen Iverson, right? Because he's small like Allen Iverson. He's tough like Allen Iverson. Now, he doesn't have to go through the beating that Allen Iverson had to go through, because Allen played in a different NBA that was way more physical. But that's not to say that Trey Young is not a tough kid. He's tough, man. You watch him, and this kid is tough. And he's got moxie, and that 3 yesterday where he does a little shimmy with the shoulder, and then he hits the basket. I mean, that was just absolutely phenomenal last night. That was a lot of fun to watch Trey Young do his thing last night. And again, it puts, at least for me as a basketball fan, it puts me in a position where I'm having fun. I'm enjoying what I'm watching. And listen, obviously the only thing better would be that the Miami Heat are the team in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that Tyler Hero is playing that kind of basketball, and that he's elevating his game, and he's elevating his brand, and he's helping elevate the Miami Heat. Of course, I would love to see something like that. You know what I mean? Tyler was at the Marlins game yesterday, by the way, for those of you that, he was there with his girl. Anybody notice that he was wearing a Florida Marlins hat, by the way? Did you notice that with Tyler? He was wearing the F with the Marlins. Anyway, so that's the only thing that would make it better, that it would be the Heat. But I'll admit, as a basketball fan, and I love basketball, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying the playoffs. I'm looking forward to tonight's game, with the Suns, and see CP3 come back and join the team, which I think he's supposed to join them today, with Phoenix up 2-0. And now the pressure while we're watching Devin Booker rise to the occasion, we're watching Paul George crash and burn. Like, he's had some really good moments, but when you miss those free throws, those are things that are just, I mean, the Clippers have got to win this series. They got to turn it up like they did in the last series and find a way to win, because if they don't, Paul George will not live down those 2 free throws for the rest of his career. So he's going to have an even bigger moment in the future in the playoffs. So to me, that drama is awesome going into tonight to see how Paul George responds. You know what I mean? That's the cool part about watching what's going on, you know, and then watching what's going on with the Clippers and Paul George, because to me, that's on the flip side, we're watching Booker, you know, come back and try to do what he's been doing along with his teammates and Ayton and all that good stuff. But on the flip side, the drama goes to, you know, to PG. Booker is the darling, just like Trey Young. They're the darlings of the NBA playoffs right now. You know what I mean? Donovan Mitchell, I think, got a lot of love in these playoffs because of his performance, but obviously he did not advance. Now we have Trey and we have Booker in there, and those guys are the centerpieces right now of what's going on in the playoffs. And so now you throw in CP3, their most important veteran player in the leadership category, and obviously he has done a phenomenal job because even injured, they're still winning without him. And when he got injured, you know, a series back, I was worried about the Suns. I was worried about the loss of PG3, and I was going, man, this is not good, you know, obviously. But somehow or another, they've been able to rise above it. These young guys have matured, and they're able to handle this situation. Devin Booker has obviously raised his game to another level. Cameron Payne, Cameron has caused a lot of pain for the opponents also. You know, and Ayton obviously has done a terrific job. It's just been, you know, and watching Jay Crowder. Obviously, we saw him here with the Miami Heat, and he had a nice little run last year with them. He's been fantastic overall for the Suns, making all the key plays, playing on defense, hitting some big threes. Obviously had the inbound to Ayton to close out the game for the alley-oop, the valley-oop in that one. So that, to me, the storylines also in this whole thing. You know, I initially talked about what was going on with Trey Young, but the storylines in these NBA Finals have been absolutely awesome because, you know, you've got the Bucks now as a team that has done everything possible to try to advance and get farther into the playoffs, and now they find themselves in a 2-0 hole at this point. And Giannis and company have got to figure it out with the quickness, because if not, remember, the Hawks are the up-and-coming team now. So you've got teams that are now getting to the Bucks level where they've been the last couple of years. And so if the Hawks now beat you and now they pass you up, and all of a sudden now you made all those moves, you traded all those picks, and then it's now the pressure starts to mount even more the following season on Giannis and Drew Holiday. So they've got to pick it up here in a way, just like the Clippers have got to pick it up against the Suns. I'm telling you, the storylines here are awesome. The drama behind PG is amazing. And he's got to raise his level of play now while Kawhi Leonard is out. Because see, if Kawhi was in, PG can play the Batman, the Robin role. But he's got to play the Batman role. And missing 2 free throws at the end of a game, that's not Batman. That's not Superman. That's not Spider-Man. That's not a superhero. That's not a star. Trey Young coming through. Devin Booker coming through. Looking really, really good. Bucks in the corner now. Just I love the drama, and everything going on in the storylines of the NBA. I find it fascinating, to be honest with you. I think it's really, really cool. So good stuff. Friday, 8:30. It'll be Atlanta and Milwaukee on TNT. Tonight, we're going to have the Suns and the Clippers at 9 o'clock on ESPN. Phoenix leading 2-0 as we mentioned. And then, obviously, they get CP3 back today. And that'll be pretty interesting, too. I mean, you're almost at a point where you don't even need CP3. Maybe you're better off keeping him on the shelf. I mean, not that he wants to, because he's going to want to play, because that's the kind of player he is. But they're at a luxury where they could actually keep him on the bench and keep this thing going, because they don't really need him, and then save him and get him fresh, get him as healthy as possible, and then whip him out for the finals. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you got nothing locked up yet. Okay, up 2-0 in a 7-game series. We've watched plenty of teams lose the 2-0 lead. In fact, the Clippers have been down 2-0 in each of their series. So they have found themselves in the same position and have overcome it a couple of times. We'll see if they're able to overcome it again this time around with Ty Lue and company. So good stuff there. Don't forget, you can reach out to us on YouTube. If you got any questions there on the chat board, you can send them in on the super chat, as always, ready to rock there for us. And, of course, on Twitter at Big O Show. Many different ways to reach out to the program. Let me see what we got here on the chat board, which is already lit. NorCal was in. NorCal was in at 10:48 already. He was chiming in. NorCal Auto and NorCal Dolphin. He chimed in with both accounts. You got to love that. SM Fins is Steve in Pensacola. Thank you, Steve, out there in Pensacola. Appreciate you. So that means when I go out to the Senior Bowl again, then Steve and Dougie Fresh got to hang out with both of you and have a beer out there in Pensacola. Raging Dolphin Maniac is in. John Rouse is in the house. Let's see what else. Too Extreme is in. Romeo Garcia, GP Trap. Let's see. Outback Streaming on my cell, my work cell, my desktop. Let's hit that like button 3 times. Ian from Brooklyn is in. John Rouse says, Big O, 4 Ethereums and half a Bitcoin, or 13 Ethereums. What would you do? 13 Ethereums. I would do 13 Ethereums because the Bitcoin, in order for you to double the Bitcoin, it's like, what, at 34 right now, something like that? You got to get to 70, right, to double it. If you're at Ethereum right now and you're in the 2,000 range, it was already at 4,000. So it's a lot easier to get to 4,000 than it is 70. You know what I mean? So I could double my money a lot faster with Ethereum and triple my money and quadruple my money a lot faster with Ethereum than I can with Bitcoin. Okay? Now, if you don't plan on taking it out ever again, unless there's a family emergency or something like that, then drop it in Bitcoin and let it go. That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is the one. All the other altcoins, I believe, are investments that you eventually will pull out at one point or another. You might leave a little bit in Ethereum and Cardano and, maybe a 20% of your total investment in there just so it can stay growing and giving you money. But you'll probably pull out most of it. With Bitcoin, the plan is never to pull out. It's a generational type of thing that you can pass it on to family members, to your son, your daughter, somebody, or, of course, if you got to have an emergency, you got to have some money and you need it, then you pull it out of your Bitcoin account. That Bitcoin is more of a savings more than anything. So that's how I would handle it, John, to be honest with you. Manuel Malo is in. The building collapsed in Surfside. Yes. Our thoughts and prayers, by the way, are to the folks on 88th and Collins. Unfortunately, I think most of you saw it on Surfside. 55 units collapsed in that apartment building, which holds 136 units. 55 of them have collapsed. We already have 1 dead, unfortunately. 3 are hospitalized. 2 are in critical condition. They've rescued 35 people. It started at 1:30 in the morning when the calls were coming in about the building collapsing, and it's just you just wonder, like, how does that happen here in this world? I shouldn't say this world. How does it happen here in the United States? Where you figure, we have the resources to be able to make sure people are safe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look what's going on with the virus. In Brazil and in India, they had ignorance, which we have ignorance in this country too, and ignorance all over the world about the virus. I think most of us are logical about the virus. Most of us get the shots. So most of us have logic, and we have the resources in this country. Okay? And you're watching the cases rise amongst what? This new Delta variant, amongst the people that are not vaccinated, right? And that's because, obviously, look, outside of a health issue, you should be vaccinated. Whether it's the flu, the measles, whatever. We've been doing vaccinations for 100 years in this country, okay, in this world. This is nothing new. This is just another thing that we've had to battle over the last century, and we need a damn, vaccine for it. And so we look at India and Brazil. They don't have the resources, and they're ignorant. And look what ended up happening. Look at the catastrophic number of deaths that they have in those countries now because they don't have the resources and they have the ignorance. Here, we have the resources. That's why 60% of our country is vaccinated. 60-something by the time. We're not going to get to the 70 that Biden wanted. And again, that's because of the people that are fighting it. If the people that weren't fighting it, we'd probably be at 80%, 85% at this point. No country in the world is where we're at. None. Because they don't have the resources we have. And so you figure, like, well, we have resources. How are you not checking your buildings to make sure that they're structurally safe? You know what I mean? We just saw that the passenger, the walk bridge that just collapsed too. These are things that should not happen in this country, man, because we have resources. I get it in other countries that don't have the resources. It's sad to see, but it's understandable because they don't have the resources. But not here. A building collapsing like that should not be happening in this country at all. I mean, that's just, I don't know what the hell is going on there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ray Gurlong is in. It says, can the football season get here already? I know I'm with you. Herman Cueva is in. Manuel Malos, talking about the building. DJ Gallagher, John Santos, Steve Chapman. Too Extreme says, it doesn't surprise me the Hawks won with all the crowd hype and play with Giannis and Holiday. They never were able to get a big lead. The Hawks kept it at 5 or 6 throughout the game until the fourth quarter. The Hawks are what the Heat were last year in the bubble. The team no one took seriously until it was too late and deep in the playoffs. The only difference is, Too Extreme, they're better than Miami. They're better than Miami. Trey Young is a better star than Jimmy Butler. John Collins has proven to be one hell of a power forward. You know what I'm saying? They've got more to build on down the line. Whereas Miami was flukish and the bubble helped them, I think the Hawks are for real, man. I think the Hawks are the real deal when it's all said and done. I don't think Miami was the real deal. I think Miami just had a really hot run, and the sad part was they could have won it all if it wasn't for the injuries. They legitimately, I'm not saying they would have won it, but they had a shot with a healthy Bam and a healthy Goran. The way they were playing, as flukish as they were, they had a shot at winning the whole thing. It's crazy. It really is. Matt Walker in. John Santos says, I hope the Phoenix Suns win the NBA championship this year. The Suns were my best friend's team. He died in December in a motorcycle accident. We were good friends for 35 years. I'm sorry to hear that, John, man. That's terrible to lose one of your best friends, man. That absolutely sucks. It's crushing. Listen, I'm pulling for the Suns. I got to say, I'm pulling for Atlanta also. I wouldn't mind seeing either team win, but it would be a lot of fun to watch Hawks or Suns fans celebrate a championship. For some reason, I never developed an interest in basketball. Love playing it, but not watching it, raging. Hey, I know a lot of people like that they're not really big NBA fans. You're not the only one raging. I know a lot of people that way. Felix Soto is in for Port St. Lucie, baby. And Troy Ortiz says, good morning. Weapon X United. Thank you, sir. As Weapons X United comes in with a super chat. Thank you, Weapons X United. He says, my daily contribution to the show. Appreciate your fantastic work, Big O. Thank you, Weapon X United. That is just absolutely awesome, man. Thank you for supporting us here. Padilla says, I'm sorry for your loss to John Santos. I'm with you there. Adam Pinkser says, I live in Indiana, one of the lowest vaccine rates in the country. Parents are suing Indiana University over vaccine mandates. It's crazy. Yeah. I know. It just makes no sense. None. We've been vaccinating our kids for measles forever. It's just like people vaccinate for the flu every year. I never used the flu vaccine ever. I've never used it. But, it's there, and people have used it forever. And the measles are there, and we were giving vaccine to kids for decades for polio, right? Until it got eradicated. That's kind of the idea. You get the vaccine, you eradicate the virus, and you move on. It's kind of common sense. It's funny how some have politically twisted this when we've been doing vaccines for 100 years. There's no difference. There's nothing different than anything else. But of course, when you want to try and twist anything, you can do it and convince yourself of any stupid thing out there. Isais, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, my man, giving us a little love on the super chat. He says, morning, Big O. Do you think the fullback will ever make a comeback in the NFL? Well, Dolphins have one. I don't know. That's a great question. Because, usually what goes around comes around. And I don't know if we'll ever get back to 3 yards in a cloud of dust football because they want points on the board. And fans want points. And fans want to see scoring and touchdowns. And they want to see home runs. And you know what I mean? It's the way fans are. And that's why they tighten up the ball, juice the players, whatever it is, make the ballpark smaller. Because they want to see home runs. It is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get back to I could see some teams including the fullback, but it's got to be a fullback that's athletic. A fullback that can actually catch passes, score some touchdowns, maybe something like that. But the 3 yards in a cloud of dust, fullback, that is an iron head, that is there just a block, and it's an enormous running game. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I don't know. That one's kind of tough, Isais. Let's see. Drew Boo is in. Omar Lopez. Super Boom Shack says, I'm your body mechanic. Let's see. Adam says, Atlanta and Phoenix are fun to watch, and I can't root for the Bucks or the Clippers. Clippers, I can't root for because of Paul George. There's something about Paul George that just doesn't rub me the right way. So I'm not rooting for the Clippers. But listen, Suns and Hawks, I can root for those two teams. I'm really enjoying what they're doing. Joe Romano says, good morning from Champa Bay. He is in Champa Bay. I got you, Joe. Hey, man, that's what you guys are. I mean, what are we going to say, right? You got the titles. Game 7 tomorrow night between the Isles and the Bolts. Hell of a comeback by the Isles last night. That was pretty awesome. I got to give the Isles a lot of love out there. I know that I know Mike No-Go Zones. I don't know if he's on watching, but I know he's a Monster Isles fan. So he must have loved. And I know there was another one of our listeners yesterday that was an Isles fan, or the day before. I forgot who it was. I forgot the name. But, I've been around Mike enough to know that he's a big Isles fan. That was a hell of a comeback by them. That was strong on their part. And it's going to be fun. The hockey playoffs are awesome. They're just absolutely awesome. Let's see. Ragin says the rules don't promote the running game anymore. Backs are mostly pass catchers now. Exactly. That's why I said it's got to be a really dynamic fullback that is catching passes and is explosive and those kind of things. But there you go. A little roll call for you. Thank you all out there, as always, for keeping it locked here on the show. We got a bunch of things today to talk about on the show. Marlins, by the way, before I get into anything else, unfortunately lost yesterday. No surprise here. Trevor Rogers didn't have a great outing, but again, not great run support. They scored one stinking run. Marte had his home run, his 6th of the year in that one. Rogers went 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks. He's got a 2.08 ERA. Tonight it'll be John Lester and Cody Poteet on the mound. They'll be toeing the slab at 7:10 if you want to watch a little Marlins baseball. And it's going to be, you think about it, it's going to be a long summer when we talk about what's going on with our sports with the Marlins and Inter Miami, because the Marlins right now are struggling at 31-42. They're 11 games under 500. And the deeper they get into that hole, the deeper they get into they don't have any attention as it is. So if you don't win, boom. Inter Miami last year made it into that play-in game, but it really wasn't the playoffs. It was it kind of like the Panthers 2 years ago, in the bubble. They didn't make it to the playoffs. They made it to a play-in game. That was bogus. And so Inter now is not playing well. And if they continue in that direction, just like the Marlins, we talked about this last week, they're going to disappear. Nobody's going to care about what the baseball team is doing and what the soccer team is doing. Once hell, who was it that just said, can the football season get here, fast enough? Because that's what we are in this town. We're programmed. We cannot wait. You know what I mean? We can't wait for the season, even though it's not going to start off with a bang, because it starts off with Alabama, and I don't care what kind of changes Alabama's going to make. They've got the better players. They've got the better program. They've got the better culture. They've got a way better coach. To me, the season's not going to start off well, because how can I believe in Manny? You know what I mean? But we're still looking forward to the season, because after that game, that's kind of when we start measuring Manny is, because I don't want to get into this whole thing, because, we had idiots that actually thought Miami had some kind of a shot against Clemson last year. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the kind of stupid shit that I have no idea people come up with. It's like I get it. I love the Canes too, but I can't sit here and be unrealistic. You know what I mean? But having said all that, we can't wait for the season. It may not start off with a bang because of the Alabama game, but after that, they got a shot at winning all the other games. So obviously Derek King has got to be healthy and in the mix there, but still, it's one of those things that we're excited about to see if all of these 4- and 5-star guys that you've recruited the last couple of years, and with Lashley coming in and another year under the belt, can you be better? Can you improve? So we're intrigued by the University of Miami. Dolphins football, I don't think we've been at a bigger high. See, that's the thing for Inter and for the Marlins now. They're playing in a summer where a lot of us as Dolphin fans are right now we have the most excitement we've ever had for the Dolphins since, I don't know, Jimmy taking over initially that first year, Ricky Williams coming to Miami. That's been those highs that we've had the last quarter century since Shula stepped down, or since Shula was pushed out the door. There's only been a couple of those moments. And having said all that, This team is better than anything Jimmy Johnson had. This team is better than that Ricky Williams team, too. Okay? And this team has a better coach than Jimmy Johnson, than Dave Wannstedt. Okay? Yeah, I said it, dude. Flo's a better coach for the Dolphins. Not talking about the Cowboys. Not talking about what he did at the University of Miami. I'm just talking about the Jimmy I saw with the Miami Dolphins. I'd rather have Flo than have that Jimmy. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I think this is the better front office and the better coaching staff. So the Marlins and Inter are in a summer where the football fan is at its biggest high that they've been in forever. Okay? Like we're hoping that the University of Miami football team can turn a corner finally under Manny. We're hoping Manny proves to us what a lot of us thought he would be when he got. I'm one of them. I love the Manny Diaz hire, man. I wanted Manny here badly, and when you're wrong, you're wrong. And right now, through the first 2 years, those of us that wanted Manny, we're wrong right now, man. Manny has not shown us jack shit. Okay, he's a total hype machine in the offseason, and he's recruiting players. But I need to see the difference on the field. I don't see the difference on the field, and that's my problem. But we're still kind of with the recruiting classes, with the offensive coordinator, with the quarterback. There's still some hope for this University of Miami football team to have a pretty damn good year after week 1. Okay? And then for the Dolphins, man, I'm as jacked as I've been for the Dolphins in a long freaking time. I really feel like they're headed in an incredible direction now. So that's why Inter and the Marlins, they are in a rock and a hard place right now when it comes to the football season right around the corner and what they've got to do over the next month and a half, because after that we're going to tune them out. So we'll see. And tomorrow, I know Inter will host Orlando City, but they lost their appeal for Shawcross, so they are going to lose Shawcross. He's out. No, for Gregory, I'm sorry. They lost the appeal. Shawcross is out and Gregory is out for tomorrow, along with Robbie already, who's been out, and Higuain is also out. This is tough, and Orlando's been a pretty damn good team. This is not the way you want to try to build if you're Inter Miami and if you're the Miami Marlins. You've got to find a way to capture the imagination of the South Florida fan. That's what Ray Hudson and the Fusion were able to do. They brought a lot of excitement. They were able to sell the club. Now, the Fusion and Ray Hudson have done something that Inter Miami has not done. Okay? The Fusion, Ray Hudson was on shows all over the place. TV shows, all of that. Inter doesn't really share their people much. And so the coach is not all over the place selling the game. You know what I mean? Ray Hudson was selling the game, selling himself. Now, Ray Hudson has more personality in his pinky than obviously Phil Neville has in his entire body. Nobody's like Ray Hudson. Nobody in the world is like Ray Hudson. There's no commentator in the world like Ray Hudson. None. Zero. Forget about it. There's only one Ray Hudson. The good Lord made one Ray Hudson and broke the mold and said there's nobody going to be like this dude ever again. And I've never seen it. But they did a better job of putting their players out there and their coach and doing interviews all over the place and selling. You know what I mean? The Marlins don't do that either. They don't sell their team. They don't sell. The manager's not all over the place doing interviews. The players aren't all over the place doing interviews. That's the one thing that those two franchises, if you want to endear yourself, that's what I love about the Panthers. The Panthers understand that they're low on the totem pole. So they meet you not halfway. They meet you 3/4 of the way. And they'll give you players and they'll give you coaches and they want to promote their team and all of that. They do all the right things. They really have always done all the right things. They've just got to figure it out on the ice. And I think Bill Zito and company are now starting to do that. But that's the tough part about having hockey, having soccer, having baseball in this town. You know, basketball was like that too. But the Miami Heat knew how to sell. They knew how to win. They know how to win. They know how to develop a team. They know how to develop a culture. And they have developed, they're the only team that has, we talked about this yesterday. They're the only team that has trust in this town. It's the Heat. Dolphins are kind of on their way, but they're not there yet. Reach out to us on the YouTube channel. You want to chat? You can send in your question, your comment. You can take an insult, whatever it is. You got to get off your chest. Go ahead and do it. Obviously, the super chat is always there. We've got Twitter at Big O Show. Make sure you reach out to us there on Twitter and send us any questions, any comments that you may have on Twitter. Ray says, it's great Manny is getting recruits, but it does not translate in the field. We are toast. Nothing he has done the last few years or on game day has impressed me. That's reality. Yeah, I'm with you, Ray. It's just, and that's where we've got to see them turn the corner finally and prove that this was the right hire. Because I got to tell you, I was as gung-ho as anybody else out there about Manny. I thought, yeah, man, go get him back from Temple. He knows the program. The players respond to him on defense. I thought it was the perfect hire. And maybe it still is. Maybe it takes Manny a little while to kind of, figure it out. It's just like I've told you with Jorge Mas and Inter. They've made a ton of mistakes. They don't look good right now, but eventually that man will figure it out and they'll get on track and they'll be a winning franchise and they'll win people over. It might take a few years, because it's taken a few years for Stephen Ross to kind of figure it out. It's taken a few years for Viola and Seafood to figure it out. It's just kind of the growing pains. Hey, look, any new business needs time to grow. So you're not going to turn things around in a couple months. That's just not the way it goes. Sometimes you don't turn it around the first year or two. Let's see. Good morning, Big O and family. I love to listen to the show. Unfortunately, I'm teaching summer school. I'll listen to you later on the podcast. I'm just here to give you a thumbs up on that like button, Rosendo. Thank you, Rosendo. That's dedication to the program, man. You just come on and give us a little like, which is enormous. Can't tell you how enormous that is. Jay Gelfand is in, says, good morning, my brother. Sounding loud and clear today. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, it's nice to have the voice back. JG Long is in, out in Malaysia. Good morning, sir. Mike No-Go Zone says, I'm still celebrating my Islanders' victory last night. That was awesome, Mike. That was an awesome win in overtime for them. I mean, your season's completely on the line. That was awesome. Isai says, love my Marlins, but it seems like we are stuck in a never-ending rebuild. Yeah. I listen, no one can argue that. You know what I mean? It's up to the Marlins to turn the corner on all of that. And they've got to prove to people that they're dedicated to winning and that they really want to have a great baseball team. This is a town where you got to have stars, man. People can just go out to Las Olas and South Beach and Worth Avenue, and they can go out to clubs, and they can go out to restaurants, and they can go down to the Keys, and they can get on the Intercoastal, and they can go boating. And, I mean, there's a lot of things to do in South Florida. You know what I mean? It's just that's just the way things are nowadays. And not nowadays, that's how it's been forever. The entertainment dollar in South Florida is a lot different than the entertainment dollar in Milwaukee. Okay? The entertainment dollar here is different than the entertainment dollar in Charlotte. It's just different, man. There's a ton of things to do here. So many reasons you can go out. You want to go out with some buddies and go to Top 42 and have a couple of drinks, go do it, man. You want to go down to the Keys and you want to go have some dinner, you want to go fishing, you just want to stay over the weekend in a hotel. I mean, there's so many different things to do in South Florida that the entertainment dollar can only stretch so far. You want to go to a concert, whatever it is, there's just too many things to do. And so the sports teams have got to compete with that. And how do you compete with that? Well, you bring Alonzo Mourning, and you bring Shaq, and you have Dan Marino. You know what I mean? These are the things that you have to do in order to actually compete with what you can do here in South Florida. And if you don't have stars, and if you don't entertain, and you don't win, you don't always have to win the title. Okay, that's the misconception out there. You just got to prove that you're trying to win. You got to show that you can win, and you got to show that you're dedicated to it by keeping your players around. You know, that way a kid grows up with Greasy for 10 plus years. Kid grows up with Marino for 10 plus years. Kid grows up with Wade for 10 plus years. And he grows up with Zoe. You know what I'm saying? Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas. All of these things are incredibly important. The Panthers have done that with Barkov, Ekblad, and oh, damn it. Now I'm forgetting the other kid. It was Huberdeau. They've done that. They signed their young guys. They've kept them around. Now they're starting to win. Now they've got to do some big winning to leave a legacy, because that's the one thing that those three guys have zero of here in South Florida. They have no legacy. And individual legacy is nice, but you need to have some team legacy, man. You know, that's what Jeff Conine's all about. He's about both titles, even though he wasn't even the best player on either of those teams. But he was around long enough on different stints that he made an impact in baseball fans' minds. But the Marlins have never kept a guy around from beginning to the end of his career, pretty much. And you need that in order to sell your sport. You've got to have stars. You got to have people that they can attach themselves to. And if kids and fans don't have that, they're going to move on. Man, they're going to go to the beach, and they're going to go to Las Olas, and they're going to go down to Lincoln Road Mall, and they're going to go to a mall, or they're going to go out fishing, or they're going to go out to the beach. Whatever it is, man. Clubbing, concerts, you name it. You better be able to sell your sport, and you better be able to commit to winning. Jay says, Ray Hudson was an awesome back for the Strikers. His personality made him a fan favorite and shined on since he became a broadcaster. Yeah. And when he was the coach of the Fusion, nobody could sell soccer better than him. Ever. It's not even close. And that's what these teams have to learn how to do. Inter, the Marlins, they've got to learn how to sell their sport. The Panthers, they do a great job of selling their sport. Their problem with this group compared to prior groups, and I'm talking about the 90s, is the language barrier. Barkov could not communicate with you the way Scrudlin could, and the way Mellenby could, and the way all those, because those guys were Canadians. So they spoke the language really well, and they could communicate, and they had personality and all that stuff. They were really likable. Whereas, Barkov and these guys, they have the European sound, and they sound very mechanical and robotic. So it's hard for them to sell a damn sport. You know what I mean? They don't have personalities. And that's the one thing that the Panthers are lacking. See, those Panthers from the mid-90s, they had a whole bunch of characters on that team. And that was a difference. You got to be able to sell your sport too, man. Let's see. Oh, so happy to listen to you each day. Thank you. Oh, listen, Dougie Fresh. I'm more grateful that I'm able to do it. I'm grateful that I didn't have anything serious with my throat, that it was just a polyp, and I just had to have it removed. And I'm grateful that I'm able to do this again, and that people have piled on again, and they're watching, and I really appreciate it immensely. Michael Toff says, Is it me? Maybe so, but MLS commissioner never wanted to bring back soccer to Miami because if the Fusion and was upset that Beckham wanted a team in Miami and is punishing Inter out of spite. Nah, man, there's no punishing Inter, dude. They screwed up. They cheated. That's it, man. They got penalized because they deserved to get penalized. I mean, the prior GM just screwed up majorly in many different ways. It has nothing to do with it. All right, it's just been a mission for us because Beckham couldn't find the right person. Moss saved his ass. Without Moss, there is no soccer. And listen, man, all of this will work out. We'll forget about all of this in a couple of years. This is all part of expansion. This is all part of new owners figuring everything out. Even what's it called? Beckham. He's a former great player. Doesn't necessarily make him a great personnel guy or soccer guy. He's probably learning too about all of this. I mean, look at Higuain. Higuain thought he could, come out here and hang out, smoke a cigarette, and score goals left and right. And he figured out, wow, this league is actually pretty tough. It's not an easy league. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's news. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into it because it has a little political twist to it. But okay, that's the first step for that guy. Next step is jail. Let's see. I was 10 when Marino got drafted. He's the biggest reason I became a huge Fins fan. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That guy can make anybody a monster fan of any team whatsoever. All right, what else do we have going on to talk about? Oh, speaking of soccer, by the way, Luis Diaz of Colombia, my brother. That is one of the greatest goals I have ever seen. I was watching it last night or yesterday. No, it was in the afternoon, actually, late afternoon, and it was against Brazil, and it was the first goal of the game. And man, that it was a cross from the left side of the box all the way to from the right side of the box all the way to the left side of the box, and this Diaz character did a bicycle kick and scored the goal, and it was wow, dude, picturesque. It was beautiful. It was timed perfectly. I mean, you couldn't paint a more perfect goal than that. That's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if it's the greatest, but it is definitely top 5. That was freaking awesome yesterday. So congratulations to Luis Diaz. I know he probably says it doesn't matter in the end because they ended up losing 2-1, but it's Brazil. So losing to Brazil is, listen, it's not an embarrassing thing to lose to Brazil. It's normal to lose to Brazil, but that goal by Diaz was just absolutely sick. Congratulations to that man. That was pretty awesome. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports or the world of entertainment? Just that I just got to mention it because it's kind of funny. I don't know if anybody saw this, but Britney Spears is in the middle of trying to, bust out her, conservatorship, where her dad and company kind of control her money, which is kind of weird because she's a grown-ass woman right now at this point. You know what I'm saying? I get it when she was a kid, and I know she's had her mental issues in the past. I get it that she's had some of those things go on, and maybe she's not completely right. I've seen her videos on IG and all that of her dancing and all. And by the way, she stays in great shape. I got to give her credit. She's had all the kids and all that, and she's gotten up there in age, and yet she still looks pretty good overall. So I got to props to that as a person that is constantly out of shape and then fighting to get in shape and then getting out of shape again. And I've had a weight issue all my life. I got to say, I admire it. You know what I mean? I got to give credit where credit is due there. But I was just, I know there's a sports show, but can't the woman spend her own money? And if she goes broke, she goes broke. I mean, how many athletes do we see end up broke? And here's Billy Corbin writing, broke part 3 and broke part 4 and broke part 5 because it'll be endless. I mean, I find it kind of ridiculous. And on the flip side, I don't know anything about this. I know about it as much as any of you do. But I'm just saying, watching all of this from afar, I almost get the feeling like some people in the family are, enjoying her money more than she is sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird. But I got to tell you, I'm in the Free Britney movement. Let her spend her own money, man. Let her have her own money, and it's she earned it. So if she feels like blowing her money, then so be it. She could easily go to Vegas and do a 25-night stay and make millions. You know what I mean? She'd sell out every single night pretty much. And let me tell you, after this pandemic, after being stuck at home for over a year, people are going out like they've never been out of their lives. Like they've been stuck at home their entire lives. Every concert in this country is going to sell out pretty much for the next year or two. Because people are going to be going out and they're going to be going to restaurants and they're going to be going all kinds of places to kind of get it out of their system because they've been stuck at home so much. They'll be traveling. They'll be doing all kinds of things. So Britney could easily go to Vegas and make a boatload of money. But she's doesn't even know she wants to perform because obviously she doesn't get to control her money. So what, is she making money for everybody else? I'm on the Free Britney movement. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Free Britney. Give her cash, dude. That's her cash. She earned it. So I'm in the Free Britney movement. How about you guys out there? You want to free Britney? Big O, great to see you again. That's what Cleator says. Well, it's great to be seen, Cle. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see where we at. Oh, we're at the top of the hour. All right, let's do this. Give me 1 minute. Let me get a couple. Let me drink a little bit here. And we will continue the show in just a couple minutes. There we go. That was a quick. There we go. That was a quick break there. Thank you all for being patient and hanging in there. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, okay? It is very important that you smash that like button. That is about the most important thing you'll do today on the program is smash the hell out of that like button and help us spread the word of the show. And also share the link to put it on your Twitter feed, Facebook, send it to a friend. Maybe they don't know that they've got some South Florida sports talk that they can tune into that is unbiased and no politics involved. So make sure you spread the word out there. All right, I gotta laugh at Jay Williams, okay? And Jay is a basketball analyst, and we all know the former Duke star had the injury that really derailed his NBA career. And he's kind of a character. I find Jay Williams to be kind of a character and a guy that a lot of times he's got some lame-ass takes. Let's just put it that way. I find him to be kind of a weak analyst at times. And you can tell that he's a guy that kind of grabs for some kind of shock value to his stuff. And he got caught doing his shtick, as we call it. And so Ime Udoka, I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced. I remember him as a player on several different teams in the NBA, and he's been an assistant coach. He got the job as the head coach of the Celtics. And so Jay Williams tweets out the first head coach of color for the Celtics, and then he has a fist bump and a black one, and says, even more importantly, he's one talented individual who has paid his dues. So Twitter went off on him and started ripping him and all that stuff because, dude, they had Doc Rivers and they had Casey Jones. They were like the first to have a black coach. I get it that, the city is known as, that they're loaded with racism and all that stuff, and black players have a long history of talking about their experiences in Boston. Dude, I get all of that, okay? I'm with you there and all that. But they did hire a black coach a long, long time ago in Casey Jones, when it wasn't, normal to have black coaches out there. There weren't a lot of them in those days. Maybe Lenny Wilkins, I remember, with Seattle that ended up winning the title with Downtown Brown and all that good stuff. But there weren't a lot of black coaches. And the Celtics, to their credit, they were one of the first teams to have a black coach. So obviously he got ripped and exposed and all that. So he comes back with, my account was hacked. And so here's where, this is one of the reasons why he kind of rubs me wrong. Okay? Dude, just admit, hey, you guys are right. I completely forgot that Casey Jones and Doc Rivers won a title there. Like, both black coaches that they've had have won titles. And it's like, oh, my bad, I made a mistake. We're all human. It's fine if you made a mistake, but you were so gung-ho because you are thinking race always, and you're a race card guy, because we've got those people in the media that, obviously you have plenty of friends and bosses and coworkers, and people that play the race card all the time. But I'm just talking about, at least in my business, I know who are the people that love to play the race card all the time. And listen, I know race is an issue, but I'm sorry, I'm the first one to tell you everything is not about race. That's where it becomes an excuse and a crutch for a lot of people. And so everything is not about race, okay? But Jay Williams was ready to make anything about race, and that's why he jumped on. Now he's jumping all over the Celtics for finally hiring a black coach when, dude, they've already done this a couple times. What are you talking about? And if you're going to get hacked, brother, they're going to put something nasty on your timeline. They're going to put naked pictures of somebody. They're going to say really nasty things about something in your genre or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to start giving out examples, but you know what I'm talking about. When you get hacked, they don't put out stuff like, well, congratulations to the Celtics for hiring the first black coach in their history and this and that, and the fist pump. And they're not going to, a hacker's not going to do that. Oh, let me hack Jay Williams' Twitter feed, and I'll make him say that this is the first black head coach when I know Casey Jones and, Doc were already there. You think a hacker is thinking that? A hacker is going to think of putting something really insulting about the GM or ESPN or something that will get Jay Williams actually in trouble. So, because I love how entertainers and athletes and famous people, when they screw up, that's their go-to. Oh, I was hacked. Because none of us are going to be able to prove it, right? We don't have access to his account. We don't really know. But it's like, come on, Jay. Do you think we're stupid? Do you think we were born yesterday? Who the hell is going to believe that a hacker is going to put that comment out there for you? Okay? A comment. If he's married, I don't even know if he's married. The hacker would more likely put, I hate my wife. That's why I cheat on the bitch every other week. That's going to really incite something with your wife, with the public, with all of that. That's what a hacker is going to do. All right? He's going to do something that will, or she is going to do something that will really ruin your life in a way, for a moment, for a week, for a couple of days, whatever. But he or she is going to want to try to cause some serious embarrassment. This is just embarrassing because you're a freaking idiot that you think we're stupid enough. Yeah, I believe that, like I believe Bill Clinton didn't inhale when he toked. No, yeah, I took a smoke of that joint, but I didn't inhale. Oh, get out of here, Bill. F out of here, bro. That kind of stuff. I mean, Jay Williams. Come on, dude. Come on. Let's go, Jay. Little common sense, dog. That's all I can tell you. Be a better liar, Jay Williams. Okay? If you're going to play the race card, because that's what you were dying to do, play the race card, and you got burned playing the race card. What I call that is karma, Jay. Because you wanted to play the race card, then you got busted, and then you got really stupid by giving us one of the weakest excuses on the planet. I got hacked. Amazing. Anyway, if you want to get in, don't forget you can reach out to us on the YouTube channel. You got a question, a comment, an insult, maybe even a compliment. You can sneak that in there on the super chat. You can send it in there. And, of course, on our Twitter page, @BigOShow. Many different ways to log on and reach out to the program. Appreciate all of you out there. Nice job by Emmanuel Agba, by the way. He's conscious of living in South Florida. He put praying for the victims in Miami and their families. Scary situation. Good to see, athletes that are in tune with what's going on locally in our town. I like that. Let's see. GP Trap, what are you drinking, Big O? A little Fiji. There you go. If you see me, 80% of the time, right? You're going to see me drinking. This is my favorite water. I love Fiji. So, yeah, that's usually my drink of choice. Which I'll take a little sip now. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Super Boom Shack. Dougie, that whole album is classic. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about now. People don't think before they tweet. Matt, that wasn't a tweet. That was just him playing the race card. He was dying. He thought he had him hook, line, and sinker. And then he could just rile people up on that. And he failed miserably. He had an obvious agenda, and he got burned trying to abuse that agenda. That's the way I would look at it with Jay Williams. Let's see. Steve Chapman says, Bill Russell was the first black coach in the NBA with the Celtics. Also, Tom Sanders in the 70s and ML Carr. Yes, that's right. ML Carr, too. Mr. Tao. Black coaches for the Celtics. I think they've had the most black coaches of any team. You might be right. They've had several. Vernon Womack says, well, damn, here you are. Been missing you. Remember RVA Richmond. Yes, sir. Thank you, Vernon. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Hit that like button. Very important to hit that like button. Super Boomshack says, when I get to work late, I just tell my boss I was hacked. That helps. It helps. Just tell the boss, hey, I was hacked. And they will then they will tell you, oh, no problem. You were hacked. I get it. It's all good. It's all good. You know who is hacking? Is Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy is doing the serious hacking, and Trick is taking a shot at somebody that you normally don't want to take a shot at, because then you'll have a boatload of people going after you. So Trick Daddy is insulting Beyonce. Okay? He doesn't think that she is really a singer. And I want you to listen to this, because I don't care what you think about Trick, whether you like his rap or not or whatever. Listen to what the man is saying, okay? Because while he was trashing Beyonce, he does make a lot of sense. Okay, here we go. During a recent call on the Clubhouse, the Miami rapper, who's 46, shared an unpopular opinion about the icon. Says, while discussing female artists, he goes, Beyonce ain't trying to give back to music, and Beyonce don't write music. Beyonce can't sing. He said, adding that Jay-Z ain't never won the greatest rapper alive title. As you expect, Trick Daddy was the target of the Beehive after the claims went viral, but the rapper didn't share an ounce of regret when he appeared on BNC News to double down on the remarks. To me, a singer is Stephanie Mills. A singer is Whitney Houston, a Mariah Carey, an Alicia Keys, an Adele, he told Mark Lamont Hill during the interview. To me, a singer is somebody that can go to church and give you the word. I'm from the South, so singing and singing are different things. While he doesn't consider her a singer, the rapper did show love to her as a performer. Have I seen anybody perform better than her? No, but I don't think she's a singer. She's a singer, but I don't think she can sing. That's my unpopular opinion, he continued. All right, and then obviously, the Beehive went after him and all that. And I understand exactly what he's saying, because I don't put Beyonce at the level of Stephanie Mills. You know what I'm saying? I don't put her at the level of Dionne Warwick and Alicia Keys and Adele. And those are monster voices, right? Those are supreme talents when it comes to... Whitney Houston has one of the most fantastic voices in the history of music. Shame she had to leave us the way she did, but I'm just saying, I kind of get it. And listen, Beyonce's beautiful. She's super fine, bro. From 1 to 10, she's a 12, okay? I mean, when it comes to looks and all that, but I don't like her music. I'm not in. You know what she reminds me a lot of? Who this girl maybe has a better voice than her. What's now I'm brain farting. The blonde girl that's on that show where they that is kind of like American Idol, and she's married to the country singer. She was on No Doubt. What's her name now? Damn it. Anyway, help me out there. What's the name of the girl from No Doubt? Oh, damn it. She's got amazing legs. Great voice, too. Well, in a way, I can do without her solo stuff. Okay? Her solo stuff, to me, does nothing. Her No Doubt music is no doubt phenomenal. Okay? Gwen Stefani. Thank you, Super Boom Shack. Gwen Stefani, Joe Romano coming into with it. Thank you. Gwen Stefani, her solo stuff is garbage. Okay? I want nothing to do with her solo stuff. It's pop bubblegum crap music. And to me, I kind of feel the same way about Beyonce's music. I actually like her in her band more than her solo stuff. Okay? Destiny's Child, for me, I actually like Destiny's Child's music. And listen, having said all that, Beyonce will probably go into the Hall of Fame on both accounts as a solo, and Destiny's Child deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If you're going to put T-Rex in there, then you got to put Destiny's Child in there by miles. It's not even close. I mean, once you put T-Rex in there, you just open the whoop-ass can of putting a whole bunch of other people that are way more accomplished than freaking T-Rex. But anyway, my point is, I do understand Trick Daddy's, shot at Beyonce. She is a phenomenal performer. It is kind of bubblegum music. Her voice is, it's not what these ladies that he mentioned. I mean, Alicia Keys that's a supreme talent right there. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the voice. I got it. But it's now you get the beehive after you. If you're not that Trick Daddy is going to worry about the beehive. Okay. Tommy in Hialeah. Thank you, sir. Very nice of you, my man. Giving us a little love on the super chat. That is very nice, my man. Thank you. Thank you. Jose Banos also giving us a little love on the super chat. He says, Big O, did you read the article about Tua? Apparently there's an anonymous player in the Dolphins that says he has been very impressed with Tua. He's going to kill it this year. I have who wrote the article? I have no idea, Jose. I'll check it out, but you know what? I've been saying that for a while. I'm not worried about it, man. I'm not. It's kind of like crypto. There's been this dip and all that, and people are panicking, and I'm not panicking at all, man. And I'm down. But that's fine. I know that it's going to bounce back. And while others are panicking, I'm trying to scoop up more, man. I'm trying to scoop up more. I'm trying to buy more if I can, whatever I can. Bring it on. I'm doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down. I'm not nervous about that. I'm not nervous about Tua at all. I've told you guys this. There's only one thing that I ever worry about with Tua. That's durability. That's the discussion that I can get into it with everybody. But you think I'm going to worry about him being a player? I've already seen that. You think I'm going to worry about him being a winner? I already know that he can do that. You think I'm worried about him not learning the offense? He's going to learn the offense. He's a super smart kid. Not worried about it. You think I'm worried about him, pulling a Tyler Hero? No, I'm not. So if he has success, he's not going to let it get to his head like Tyler Hero. He's going to work even harder to keep proving people, wrong and keep improving, because that's who this kid is. I have zero concerns about Tua. Zero concerns. None whatsoever. I think Tua is the guy that is going to be what we've been wanting here for a long, long time. A winner. A real quarterback. A franchise player. A guy that can lead this team to a Super Bowl title. I'll check out the article. Send me who wrote the article, Jose, please. So that way I will definitely check it out. But I'm not worried about it. He's a year removed from the hip injury. So now he gets to work on football. He gets to work on his core body. I've told you guys this before. You're going to see a more athletic Tua. You're going to see a stronger arm Tua. You're going to see a Tua that's much more comfortable because the offense is built for him. He's been working on it in the offseason. He's been throwing to his guys. He'll have his mini camps. He'll have his training camp. He'll have his preseason. The dude is going to be rock solid and ready to go when everything starts in September. I have zero concerns about Tua. Okay? I worry more about the young offensive linemen having to come together. That's what I worry about. Those are the kind of things that I worry about because the offensive line is imperative to everyone's success. And it's really hard to develop an offensive line. It's really hard to find 5 good players to line up. And they've invested a ton of picks into that line, a couple free agents. I'm hoping that it all falls into place this year. That's the one that I'm, kind of concerned about. That's what I want to see. Because I don't know if Michael Dieter is going to play well. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with Austin Jackson this year, and when is Eichenberg going to break in, and all these kind of things. Well, I like a lot of these guys. They have to put it all together, and that's going to be the challenge for them. That's my concern. I have zero concern about Tua. None. Nada. As a player, I got nothing. I don't worry about him at all. I expect him to be a damn good. I told you already he's going to throw 30 touchdowns. And if that line plays well, he'll go 35 plus. Kid's going to ball out this year, man. I'm telling you. GP Trap says, supreme looker too, Alicia Keys. Oh, yeah, Alicia Keys is beautiful, man. Yes, she's beautiful, and she's got a magical, magical voice. Haley Reinhardt has an amazing voice. And Alicia Keys can play the piano. Yes, she can. Robert Triana says, yo, 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 love it. I guess you're talking about the Tua talk? Jeremy Dorsett says, Big O, are the Dolphins going to stay with current running backs? Yeah, that's kind of what the plan is. These are the backs that you're going to have. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It goes back to the line, Jeremy. If the line plays well, the backs will be fine. And eventually, though, go back and listen to what I think the Dolphins are doing with the running back spot on a long-term basis. It's there on the podcast. Go search for it. You'll see it there. I think it was sometime last week that I did it. I think, or maybe Monday. But yeah, it's there. It's there. Big picture, using your decades as a sports broadcaster, how has the patience with player development changed? Do we expect more in a shorter time than back in the day? Myth or reality? No, that's the reality. Yeah, no, we're in a microwave society. Yes. They expect players to respond quickly. So yes, we are. Super Boom Shack says Joni Mitchell, another talent. Not that I'm not a big fan of her music, but she's got a great voice. She's a great talent. There's no doubt about that. Big O, ever seen Alicia Keys in Smoking Aces? Smoking hot. Well, that's because she's smoking hot. It's easy to be smoking hot when you are smoking hot. You know what I'm saying? It's like Beyonce, smoking hot. No matter what, Beyonce is smoking hot. Love the platform a lot more. It's more personable altogether. Me encanta. All right, Robert. That's what it is. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you for loving our stage here on the show. And you're not the only one, by the way. I've gotten this a lot now the last week here that we've been back. It seems like people appreciate this format more than anything else, and so I'm glad. Now we've got to grow it again. Now we've got to turn this thing around and get it to the point where I'm comfortable doing it every day, and maybe I can make a living off of it like we were before. Let's see. John Rouse says 14,000 down, Big O. Not worried. No, it's coming back, and I'm going to kill it. Bought the dip. Bought 13 Ethereum at 18. Wow. Good for you, dude. You are going to make some serious bank. Serious bank. You did buy 13 Ethereums? Wow. Hell of an investment. I wish I had the money to do it myself. I'd do it in a heartbeat. Because Ethereum is going to absolutely... And remember, they're about to put EPPI 15, whatever, which will now lower the gas fees. And their transaction rates are going to go through the roof. So, and then when ETH2 comes in at the beginning of next year, another jump when it explodes. So you are on the right track. Those are great investments on at least my opinion. Robert Triana chimes in with a little super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you, my man. Jose Banos comes in with his second super chat of the day. He says, I sent you the article to your Twitter account, Big O. Fins up. Thank you, Jose. I will check it out after the show. I will read it when I'm relaxing. Big O, I have been killing it in fantasy in the past. I did win the championship last year. Nice, Jeremy. Nothing wrong with winning the title. John Rouse is going to win the title with that Ethereum stuff right there. John, wow, that's impressive, bro. That's impressive. That's impressive. Let's see. Yes, stay small to be big. I bet many of us would pay for a membership of some sort. Just don't call it a golf club, as significant others won't like seeing that on the statement. Bromar says Shiba is the one to get in if you want to make a huge return. Well, Bromar, this is kind of weird. I'm going to say this because there's some ignorance tied to it. Sorry, but I don't think there's much risk in Ethereum. And I know it sounds crazy to say that about any stock or any coin that you would ever invest in, but I would say Amazon, there isn't much risk. There isn't much risk in Apple. I think Ethereum is going to be, in digital currency, it's going to be one of those Amazons and Apples. You know what I mean? So it's a sure thing. The Shiba is a complete gamble. Okay? When Shiba Swap comes out now, I'm going to be interested to see how it affects it. Now, remember, you're going to need, when Bitcoin starts bouncing back, that should affect Shiba and it should start rising. I won't disagree with you, Bromar, that Shiba could make you rich. You know what I mean? But Shiba is a total wild card if it bounces back. Okay? And I'm telling you, I have thousands of shares of Shiba. All right? If something happens with Shiba, I'm willing to take the gamble. But it's a complete gamble that we're doing with Shiba. I feel great about Cardano. I feel phenomenal about VeChain. I feel phenomenal about Ethereum. There are certain companies that I absolutely love. Polygon, Matic. I mean, there's just some. Bitcoin, obviously. There are some that I put all my confidence in that they are going to soar when it's all said and done. Stellar is another one that I think is going to climb a lot. Maybe not as much as Ethereum and as much as Cardano and all that, but enough that you're going to make some pretty good money. With Shiba, that's a total gamble at this point, because there's a lot of uncertainty and unknown with it, and it's not the same as Cardano, when Cardano is going to be the bank of an entire continent in Africa, when that they're going to be part of their educational system. You know what I mean? When that they're adding smart contracts, and when Goguen kicks in next month, sometime in July, they're going to be doing more transactions than actually Ethereum is. So there are tangible things that I can look at some of these companies that I know they're going to explode. The amount of things that VeChain is involved in and their partnerships is sick. That we're just talking about companies that are going to just absolutely catapult to other levels. I can't say that about Shiba. Shiba has the Shiba Swap. They say they're gonna build a blockchain. They want to add NFTs, but these are things that they want to add. Now, I will say their coin and their makeup, their construction allows them to grow, unlike Dogecoin. Dogecoin has old technology that's tied to it. It has old Bitcoin-like technology to it, and that's a problem for them. Whereas Shiba is more modernized because it's an Ethereum coin, and so you can build more on this coin. It moves faster than Doge does. So for transactions, So it'll be interesting to see, because we've watched Pancake and Uniswap grow, if Shiba Swap does also become a place where people are going to swap out coins, not just Shiba coins, but other coins. If they start doing that and their transaction rate goes up, and as long as you can connect your wallet to it, and there are no issues, I mean, there's potential there. There is potential, and there's also a limited. There's a number of coins, not limited, but there's a number of coins that they are printing or they are mining, and then it's over. Whereas Doge is unlimited. They're just going to keep printing coins, which to create value out of that is a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there is potential with Shiba, but I would never tell any of you guys go invest in Shiba, because there's a lot of gamble to it. Where if I feel good about a company, I'm going to tell you, hey, invest in this company. This is a really good company. They got a lot of things going on. I really love the direction this coin is going in. Thor Chain is one I love. Things like that, I'll tell you. But Shiba, I'll tell you, hey, man, you can put a couple bucks in there, but just treat it like you're going to lose it. That's what I would tell somebody. You know what I mean? Don't look at it like Cardano, that if something happens negatively with Cardano, I'm seriously going to be in shock. Okay, something negatively happens with Ethereum, I am going to be absolutely floored, like I never saw it coming. But with Shiba, so that's kind of the way I look at it. Okay, if I'm going to tell you, hey, I love this company, it's because I put money into it also. You know what I mean? And yeah, I put a little money into Shiba, but I'm telling you, I'm not. I am not going to tell you to go out there and go put, a serious amount of money. If you want to throw away a couple of bucks, again, throw away a couple of bucks, then go ahead and put it in Shiba. And now that it dipped, I think it's at 7 now, and I'm talking about 5 zeros and then the 7, 0.5 zeros, and so we're in the thousands. Yeah, it's worth throwing a couple of bucks, because you just never know what direction it's going to go in. Let's see. Big O, I just need Shiba to hit 1 penny. Joe, I'm with you, man. I would love for it to hit 1 penny. If it is half a penny, I'm doing really good, bro. I'm doing really, really good. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I made a little investment in Shiba. I took my gamble, but I'm looking at it like, I threw away money. That's the way I'm looking at it. Whereas I don't think I'm throwing away money at all when I invest in Cardano or Ethereum or VeChain or Thorchain or something like that. You know what I mean? I have total confidence that it's going to make me money when it's all said and done. Those I would be shocked. That's the difference there. Anyway, if you want to get in, of course, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. You can reach out on the YouTube chat board. Little super chat action, which I thank all of you for supporting us through super chat. Thank you very much. Very nice. And don't forget, more importantly, also hit that like, smash the hell out of that like button. That is so important. You know what's also important? I didn't turn on the Eiffel Tower, man. That's I just looked at the picture. I'm going, wait a minute. It's not lit. We got to get lit, because Ethereum is going to get lit. Cardano will get lit. Bitcoin, lit. VeChain, lit. Thorchain, lit. Okay, that's where I'm at. There's a lot of them that are going to get lit. Polygon, lit. Stellar, lit. Decentraland, lit. Uniswap, lit. Get what I'm saying? Binance Coin, lit. It's going to happen. All right. What else do we have going on? Oh, did you see the scouting combine? And I like this personally, because obviously I've been going to scouting combine for 20 years. And, it's always in Indianapolis. And it can get cold there, man. And listen, credit to Indianapolis. downtown Indianapolis has the buildings connected with walkways in the second floor, a lot of them. So you don't have to always go outside, but there are times that you have no choice and you've got to go outside. And man, it can get cold there. And the wind kills your ass in that place, man. It's like a mini Chicago because you're like walking and then you turn a corner and that wind is just howling, dude, and it slices right through your ass. And I'm a Florida pussy, okay? I mean, dude, my blood, no way. I mean, I love sleeping in the cold, but outside of that, I don't want to hang out in the cold. I don't enjoy it, okay? And I am a total wuss when it comes to that cold stuff. So to me, I don't look forward to it at all. So now the NFL, starting in 2023, they will start accepting bids for the NFL Combine. So that means that Indianapolis may never host it again after 2022. They started in 1987 and will go through 2022, and it's probably over at that point because Dallas has already made plans. They're already talking about Dallas being one of the teams that's going to bid. Jerry Jones, when he built the stadium, apparently he built it. He built an area with the draft in mind, that eventually he could bring the draft there, which would make a lot of sense to do the draft in Dallas. I hope places like Miami, Tampa, all right, New Orleans, Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, LA, you get my drift? I'm hoping that those are the cities that end up winning a bid year in and year out for the NFL Combine. Okay? I don't want to go to Seattle for the NFL Combine. I don't want to go to Detroit. I don't want to go to New York. I just don't want to deal with those kind of situations. I don't want to travel in those situations, and I don't want to deal with the cold from those situations. I can't stand it, bro. I'm telling you, it's not something I look forward to. The only time I like it is when I'm sleeping, and I don't mind being, a couple blankets and being nice and warm and all that and sleeping in the cold. But outside of sleeping in the cold, I want nothing to do with the cold. Zero. Okay? Add Jacksonville to that list, yes. All right, Jacksonville, Tampa, but Jacksonville's not sexy, so I don't know. Maybe if they ever build the new stadium and that whole complex and everything that they do, maybe they'll bid then at that point. But I'm hoping more livelier cities, pick it up, like Miami and New Orleans. Dallas would be cool. Phoenix, I think, would be really cool. I've been there myself, and LA would be absolutely awesome. Because you know that while you're out there for a couple of days, I know that there's going to be a concert or two that I'll be able to enjoy when I'm out in LA. It's a beautiful thing. Big O is the V chain you're talking about. VET USD. Yes, VET. Yes, it's VET is V chain. V chain's call letters are VET. Yes. Cardano is ADA, ADA. Bitcoin is BTC. Yeah, they all have abbreviations to it, and you've got to know them. And yes, VeChain is VET. Yes. Okay. Sean Rouse says, put 3,000 in Shiba. You won't need one penny. 0.001 would be just fine. But that's 3,000. That's, yeah, with 3,000. Dude, with a penny, John, you're retired, bro. You're retired. With 3,000 in it, oh my God! If Shiba goes up to that, you are going to be, you're going to be loving life, as they say. No doubt about that. That's a hell of an investment right there. Big O, we are still waiting for NBA All-Star Weekend in Miami. Yeah, wasn't there some deal that they can't do it because it clashes with the boat show or something like that? Or somebody help me out with that. I forgot that I think there's something that they can't do the All-Star game because it clashes with a big event. I think it's the boat show. I want to say it's the boat show. I'm not exactly sure, but there's something that clashes with it, and that's why they don't do it. That's why they don't bid on it, actually, Jeremy. So there's more to that story than just waiting for it. And I know we had it, years ago, because obviously I went to the All-Star game myself. I think I've told you guys the Mark Eaton story. Have I ever shown you guys my rookie card? I don't know if I can find it quickly. My rookie card. I don't know if I have it here. I don't think so. But I have a rookie card. Yeah, I have I think it's Topps, I believe, NBA All-Star Game, and it's Barkley blocking or trying to block David Robinson. And David's going up for a shot in the air, and remember, Barkley's like half a foot shorter than this guy. Maybe even more. I think Robinson was 7'1". Barkley's maybe 6'5", 6'6" at most, so he's a little bit over half a foot shorter than him. And he's jumping as high as David Robinson. I don't think people, young people, you laugh at him and all that. You have fun with Barkley. I don't think people realize that are young how athletically of a freak Charles Barkley was. Seriously. Let me see if I can. You know what? I'm gonna attempt to do this. Okay. Give me 30 seconds and see if I can find the card. Unfortunately, it's going to take longer than 30 seconds. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's cool, actually. So David Robinson and Barkley are up, and I'm at the 25th row, right on the basket. And so you can see me and my wife, then girlfriend, and we're both in Heat jerseys. Because we had season tickets for the Heat, and then we got the All-Star tickets. I'm going to have it tomorrow, and I'll show it to you tomorrow. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera when I put it, but I'll try to point me and the wife out. And you might be able to figure out, like, the jerseys, and you'll see it, but I don't know if you'll be able to, like, tell it's me. You can tell it's me when you see it in person. So, there you go. Bromar says, stop being greedy, LOL. Big O, hope all is well with you and your family. Don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but did you hear about the collapsed condo in Surfside, Florida? Yes, and we talked about it already. I talked about it a little bit, man. It's sad, man. It's absolutely sad. But we did talk about it, and our prayers obviously are to all the families involved. It's just terrible. Dougie Fresh says, somebody took O. Big O, I love this format of yours. The sky's the limit for you. You are not beholden to anyone. The hell with doing a station. You will make more money like this. Well, I don't know if I'll make more money, but listen, it's not really about making more money. I just would like to make a living and keep doing what I love to do. And, we have a pretty good thing here set up on this show. And so let's build it. That's all. Let's build it together and let's have some fun, and hopefully we can take it to another level. What is the brand and year of the card? We can Google it. Oh, you can? It's Topps. It's Hoops. It's 1988-89, I want to say. That's that's interesting. You know what? I never thought of that. That you could Google a card. That is interesting. So it's a David Robinson. I'm pretty sure it's a David Robinson card. Miami All-Star game. And I want to say 1998. Or no, 1988, right? Yeah, 1988. I think it is. Something like that. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, guys, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. You can actually, yeah. Well, if you find the card, it's this one, okay? And trying to, oh, that's me in the hat. Oh, there. Oh, damn it. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. You can tell it's me actually from there. That's me right there in the hat. You see the hat right there? The white hat? That's me. And then the wife is sitting next to me. Right there. That's my rookie card. And like I told you, look at this, dude. Look at Barkley. He's up there. He's up there with Robinson. Is that sick or what? I mean, those of us that know how short Barkley is, sick. Think I'm bullshitting you, huh? You thought I was bullshitting you? That I made a Topps card. No, it's NBA Hoops, actually. NBA Hoops, All-Star Weekend, Miami, February 9th through 11th, 1990. That's what it says here. So I guess it's an 89 card. Is that what it is? Or a 91 card? No, it's a 91 card, and that's probably what it is. So there you go. So yeah, that's my card. And what's it worth? 99 cents. You see, the thing about that card is it would be worth a lot more if Robinson and Barkley weren't on it. If it was just me in the stands, it'd be worth hundreds and thousands of dollars. But freaking Barkley and Robinson had to ruin my card and get in my shot. I mean, that's just unacceptable, bro. I mean, come on. That's just wrong on every level. All right, reach out to us here on the YouTube chat board. That was a joke, by the way, just in case somebody might take me serious. What's it called? You can reach out to us on the YouTube chat board, on the Super Chat. You can reach out on Twitter at Big O Show, all of that good stuff. Big O, it's a 90-91 card. Yes, it is. Yes, that's an awesome picture. It is an awesome picture. It is an awesome picture because just to see Barkley at that height with Robinson is sick. Send the link to the card. Where do I put the link? You want me to put it on Twitter? Do I do that? Let me see. Yeah, the feed I have is... Okay, here we go. All right, I'll put it here. All right, done. It's there. Put it on Twitter. I put, can you find me on this card? You guys are going to cheat. You're already going to know where I'm at. Okay? But whatever, we'll have some fun with it. It's on my Twitter feed if you guys want it. It's the eBay picture of it for a whole 99 cents. Telling you, Barkley ruined that shot, and so did David Robinson. Those guys, they just, it's my time to shine, and they get in the way. That's just terrible. Did you guys see what Steve Kerr had to say? I thought that was very interesting what Steve Kerr had to say. They were talking about Kevin Durant and Michael Jordan. And so he was asked about the comparisons of Durant to Michael Jordan. and I thought he had a very interesting response to it.
He's the most talented basketball player on earth, if not of all time, honestly. Just so gifted.
He played with Michael Jordan.
I know. I think he's more gifted. I really do. I mean, and that's, that's saying something, but Kevin is a entirely different breed. I mean, 6'11", with guard skills, unlimited three-point range, passing, shot blocking at the rim. It's just stunning. And watching him this year was really, really gratifying to see. You think about what he did for this organization, not only helping us win titles, but to come back and try to play through injury and then suffer the devastating Achilles injury. We all just wanted to see Kevin healthy, and so to see him in the playoffs playing at the level he reached, it was really, really gratifying for all of us.
Now, it's interesting because he used the word gifted. He didn't really say better when it's all said and done, and I would never put Durant better than Jordan, but I got to tell you, I can't disagree with Kerr on gifted. Because Michael Jordan, half of Michael Jordan's, success comes from his drive. Yeah, he was great. Of course he was great. Of course he was super talented. Everybody knows that. But not everybody has the same drive. Not everybody can push themselves. I mean, this dude at the end of his career with Washington played like 81 games or 82 games or something. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The drive that he had. There was no what's that called nowadays when they load management? Are you effing kidding me? Load management? Michael Jordan? What are you, crazy? That's like telling Alonzo Mourning, you know what, Zoe, you need a rest. Get the hell out of here. I got to get on the court and help my team. That's Zoe. That's Michael. That's a mentality that we've all had. A lot of us growing up, that you want to go to work and you don't feel productive if you're not working. There are people nowadays that will do anything not to work. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a different mentality. And so part of Michael's greatness was his drive to be great, was his tenacity to get after you defensively. But Kevin Durant's gifted line from Kerr, he's right. Dude, the guy's 6'11". He dribbles like a freaking guard. He has no range whatsoever. There's no limit at all to his range. The second he walks out of the locker room, he's open and can hit it. You know what I mean? That's something that Michael was never. Did Michael get better as a shooter? Of course he did. And was he a threat? Yeah. But not like Durant. I mean, Durant plays terrific defense, can score at any level, man. Under the basket, mid-range, three-point shot, half-court shot, doesn't matter, bro. And the guy assists. He helps his team out in creating shots for others. He's right. I wouldn't say better. And LeBron, it's the same thing. It's again, these are all different players. Michael is different than LeBron. LeBron is different than Michael. LeBron is different than Durant. Durant is different than Michael and different than LeBron. They're all different kind of players. And they're all great. They're all first ballot Hall of Famers. They're all some of the greatest players that have ever played this game. And I'm still putting Michael ahead of both those guys. But that's because, LeBron had to come here to learn how to be a dog. Michael was a dog. He was a junkyard dog from the get-go. When he's in Chapel Hill and he's hitting that shot right off the elbow, and there's the championship. That was a guy that never feared the moment and was always looking forward to conquering the moment. You know what I mean? So that's the difference, that Michael's drive is different than most other players' drive. It's just something that it's like Aaron Donald. Are there defensive ends that have been as talented as Aaron Donald? Hells to the yeah. But they're not driven psychotically like Aaron Donald is, like Michael Jordan. There are certain guys that are just driven that they're just man, they're going to do anything possible to make sure it happens. And that's the difference between Michael and Kevin Durant and almost every other player that's in this league over the last 20 years. Michael was willing to push it way past the envelope, not to cheat, but to the effort was he was going to leave everything on that court every single night. Put it that way. And that's the difference between a Michael and a Kevin Durant. But Steve Kerr's point, he's right on target. I mean, the natural gifts that Kevin Durant has, most people don't. And he's been able to sharpen those talents that the good Lord gave him to become one of the freakish, most amazing players we've ever seen in the NBA. That's why I'm telling you that. When I started the show and we were talking about the Suns and I mentioned Durant, it's like, how have you not had fun during these playoffs? Watching some of these incredible performances by some of these players. I got to say, the NBA playoffs have been a lot of fun, man. I really have enjoyed what I'm watching with the NBA playoffs. Dougie Fresh comes in with a super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, thanks for the Admiral mention. Imagine in 1994, had he scored 60 in the final game to win the scoring title to beat out Shaq, he scored 71. Yep. The Admiral was a hell of a player, man. Hell of a player, hell of a person. He was, and there was all that controversy too, right at the beginning of his career about him playing instead of being in the Naval Academy and all that stuff, and how that got in the way a little bit. And then he went on, obviously, to have a Hall of Fame career. He was just, David Robinson belongs in this NBA. David Robinson would be awesome in this NBA. There's some guys that wouldn't translate nearly as much to this NBA because they didn't have the range. But there's a dude that would have easily, because he could shoot from the outside. It's like Olajuwon. Those are two of the big men that could have translated to this league, and they would have been exceptional three-point shooters in this league because they already had those gifts. Olajuwon could shoot from the outside. You give him, you put him in this NBA, oh my God. Oh Lordy. O'Shea Morris says, Big O on Twitter, he says, I disagree with LBJ's comment. He was a dog, just didn't have help. He took a team of nobodies to the finals. MJ couldn't get a team out of the first round before Pippen. Yes and no on that, okay? Because you said LBJ, he was a dog. Did you see the dog against Berea in 2010 against the Dallas Mavericks? Or did he fold like a cheap tent there? That's not a dog. And he disappeared against the Celtics with the Cavs. Like he checked out. I disagree with you on that one. I've seen LeBron check out. I've seen LeBron go small in those kind of moments. It was the Boston Celtics series in his second year with the Heat where he fully came to life, where he conquered his fears, let's just say. Okay? I saw him go small in a couple of instances before that moment. And with the Heat, he did it a couple times with the Cavs, San Antonio and the Celtics that I remember specifically. But with the Heat, that Mavericks series, dude, when JJ Barea is posting you up, come on, bro. That's like watching Herman Echeverria, which is Tattoo from Fantasy Island, rest in peace. That guy gets on the court and tries to, post me up. And I'm going to say, get out of here, bro. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Okay? So he went small. I got to say, O'Shea, against the Dallas Mavericks, he took a complete shit in his pants against the Mavs. So I disagree with you. I think LeBron learned how to be a dog here in Miami. Yeah, he was a great player and he could score and all that good stuff. But when push came to shove, he got shoved. And there were moments where, I know he's a great player. I get all of that. I understand. And I'm not going to compare the East that he played with compared to the East that Jordan had to play with. I mean, it's the Boston Celtics alone, bro, and the Detroit Pistons. Shay, he never had to deal with that in Cleveland. He never had to deal with those type of teams. Those were tough hurdles to get through because those were championship squads. You know what I'm saying? So I disagree with you on that one. I think LeBron learned how to be a dog here in Miami. That's just me. But again, that's what sports is all about. We can agree to disagree on that one. Getting off topic just a minute. Just curious on your opinion of trans girls competing with the natural-born girls in high school sports. Do you think they have an unfair advantage? Hell yeah, dude, you're a man. I get it. Look, listen, man. I don't want to insult any community or anything like that, okay? But you were born a man or you were born a woman. Now, if mentally and emotionally you feel like the other sex, okay, well then I get it. You've got to make the change that makes you feel comfortable. More power to you. I got no problem with that. But the good Lord blessed you with man-like muscles. And women will never compete with men physically. It's over, bro. We could talk about women can be presidents and they can be senators and they can be generals and they can, be firefighters and all that good stuff, but they're still not going to be able to carry the same amount of weight off a building that a man does. They're never going to run faster than a man. They're never going to lift more than a man. None of that. It's never going to happen. We're never going to be equal physically because men are more gifted than women physically to do those kind of athletic things. Not life. Women are tougher than men in life. Let's just get that straight, okay? But physically, a person that was born a man and has muscles of a man and then converts to a woman should not be competing with women because she is now at an advantage because she's got muscles of men. Whether she feels like a woman, that's something completely different. And then on the reverse, if you're a woman and you become a man and you want to compete in men's sports, you got no shot ever of doing anything. You're at a complete disadvantage. So no, I completely disagree with that. And you're putting all the young ladies that have worked really hard to be there at a complete disadvantage because now you've put someone with physical traits of a male in your sport. And that's just wrong. This has nothing to do with how the person feels emotionally, mentally, all of that. I completely understand that they were born one sex but feel another. Hey, man, I got no problem. Live your life the way you feel comfortable, okay? If you want to be gay, then, man, be gay. It's not a problem. You want to be bi, then be bi. You want to be straight, you be straight. That's fine. I don't care about any of that. But, yes, I have a very strong opinion on that, and I don't feel that if you were born a man and you converted to women, you have no business being in women's sports, okay? You should be competing with the men. That's what you should be doing. That's all. That's if they can allow you to do that, then stay like that. But there is no doubt in my mind, anybody that was born a male and then now wants to be female should not be able to compete with women because it's not a fair level playing field anymore. It's just not. And it's, you know what it is for an Olympian to have to be working their asses off all their life for this moment, and then they allow somebody that has a physical advantage over you? No, dude. I'm sorry. That's just not. You're never going to have a woman that's going to be a better weightlifter than a man. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm sorry. Maybe one day there's this one woman that's, she was physically gifted and whatever, but a woman tennis player, no matter whether it's Serena or whatever, she's not going to beat Federer. She's not. It's just not going to happen. Just the way things are. It's not a matter of me being biased or anything like that, but what I am trying to do is create a fair level playing field, and for women to allow somebody that was born a man in their sport, that's a complete disadvantage. Troy says, just wanted to ask, don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody either, but you asked me the question. I'm gonna give you my opinion. Again, I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm not here to insult anybody, but I do feel it's a hell of an advantage. It really is. The plane, boss, the plane. That's it. Tattoo, Fantasy Island. That's right. Big O, the Mavs lost to Miami on Christmas Day, 2011 and 12. And I remember in 2014, the look Mark Cuban gave when Chris Anderson shot a three in garbage time. Cuban was PO'd. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. They should let trans compete amongst themselves. Wow. That's an interesting one. I mean, if we're going to do things, then maybe we have a separate category. That way everybody feels comfortable. That's an interesting idea. I don't know if you would have enough people enough trans that would make up an Olympics. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I feel bad for the women. I know. Let me tell you something, dude. If my daughter was competing, I'd be pissed. I'd be incredibly pissed that they allowed a man who's now a woman in the competition with the other ladies. I would find that disgusting, because that all of a sudden it's like doing steroids. It's like, whatever. It's creating an advantage. I would be, as a parent and as a competitor, I would be so pissed, because it's cheating, basically, is what you're doing. You're cheating. It's disgusting. You're giving somebody a total advantage over everybody else. And that's just not fair. That's just sad that all these athletes are working so hard, and then all of a sudden somebody from, that is from physically from another sex has an advantage over them. That would not be nice, man. That would be a terrible, terrible situation, unfortunately. Let's see, what else do we have? For those of you that like a little music, since today is June 24th, figure I'd tell you what was important in today's world of music. I got a couple things that I thought were really, really interesting. If I could actually bring it up here, if I can find it, damn it. I will try to find it here. I don't know why I'm not able to find it now. Oh, Lordy. I had it here. All right, here we go. Why June 24th matters. There's a couple really interesting things here. In 96, on this date, Van Halen announced that Sammy Hagar had left the band and that David Lee Roth was back as a temporary replacement. The ups and downs of Van Halen. In 2007, the White Stripes' final album, Icky Thump, went to #1 in the UK charts. This is what I love. But it only made it to #2 in America. I love how they write that. Like, if you're the #2 record in America, that's not a big accomplishment. I mean, seriously, who wouldn't love to be a musician and have the #2 record in the country? Sure, it's great to have the #1, but if you made it to #2, man, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty phenomenal. Anyway, in 99, Clapton put 100 of his guitars up for auction to raise money for Crossroads Center Rehab Facility. The sale made $5 million for the center. In 2001, on this date, Blink-182 scored their second #1 album with Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. On this date, Led Zeppelin was found not guilty of stealing the opening chords to Stairway to Heaven from the band Spirit's song Taurus. On this date, back in 92, Billy Joel received his high school diploma from Hicksville High School on Long Island in New York. He failed to graduate with his class in 67 because of missed gym and English credits. And in 2008, a blogger who posted tracks from Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy got a visit from the FBI and a cease and desist letter. I remember that story. I remember when that one came out. So those are some of the things that happened today in music, and I thought they were pretty newsworthy. There were a couple of interesting ones there. Yeah, I saw it. The bassist from Blink-182 has cancer. I know, I saw that, man. Sad. Our prayers. Hopefully he'll beat it. Hopefully he'll crush cancer. Let's hope one day, man, we can find a cure for cancer. Ah, God, that's affected all of us, right? At one point or another, a friend, a family member. It's just so depressing. Journey has a new album coming out, with Arnel Pineda, not with Steve Perry. And I know nobody's Steve Perry, but Arnel does a really good job overall. And they have a track that's out. It's called "The Way We Used to Be," and it's kind of it's a pandemic influenced a little bit. And I got to tell you something. I listened to the song. It's pretty good. Again, it's not going to rekindle Love and Touch and Squeezing, and it's not going to be the Escape album and Frontiers and all that good stuff from the past. I'm not trying to tell you that they've rekindled the magic of the past or anything like that, but I enjoyed the song. I did. I enjoyed the song. I thought it was pretty good overall. So if you get a chance to check it out, "The Way We Used to Be," it's actually pretty cool. I thought they did a nice job with that one. So there you go. All right, what else do we have here? O'Shea says, Big O Show, to the Warriors and Spurs, weren't those types of teams? Jordan never beat a team with 4 Hall of Fame players in the finals. So the Warriors, okay, I see what you're saying with the Warriors and the Spurs. Yeah, no, I know, but he had his players too. I mean, it wasn't like he had a terrible team in those moments. The Warriors were young, and they had the green suspension, I think it was, that kind of threw them off. I remember that. But I'm telling you, LBJ, and by the way, after with the Warriors and the Spurs, that was after Miami. That's what I'm telling you. He learned to be a dog in Miami. It was Game 6 in Boston. That was the watershed moment of LeBron's career. That was right there. That was the moment that it was just where he catapulted to being a fearless dog at that time, and then became the guy that didn't matter about taking the shot at the end, and he was willing to take it. That's why I'm telling you that before that, go look at the Celtics series where he completely disappeared, and the Spurs too, on top of all of that. It's after 2010 or 11, that is when he then took off. And the last 10 years have been, obviously something that he's been able to really add to his legacy, and it's been able to expand. Super Boom Shack says, Ragan, what is your favorite? Oh, you're asking Ragin', not me. Okay. My favorite Journey song is Stone in Love. Love that song, man. That is a great song. And as what is it, this way? This way? That way? See it over there by the soul sign there? Music is my vaccine. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, folks, we are going to wrap it up here on the show. We did a little over 2 hours today, 2 hours and 16 minutes. I appreciate it. Oh, Separate Ways for you. Separate Ways is a great song. Great song. Appreciate all of you out there for keeping it locked. Thank God the sound, I don't know what the hell happened yesterday, why it sounded so funky. I appreciate all of you out there for being patient with us. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button before you go so we can rock it out and spread the word. We will be back tomorrow. I don't have to get my card anymore, right? So you guys saw my rookie card. So my homework is done. Don't need my rookie card. You guys have it there. You can check it out. Also, I put it on Twitter anyways, the link there if you want to check it out. But anyway, thank you all out there. Appreciate your support. Let me thank the Super Chatters, Weapon X United, Isais, Tommy and Hialeah, Jose Banos did it twice today. Thank you, sir. Robert Triana also checking in, and Dougie Fresh. Appreciate all of you out there with the little super chat action. Thank you all out there for smashing the hell out of the like button. Don't forget to do it on the podcast. When you're listening, smash the podcast. Make sure you subscribe and spread the word. Ray says Lights by Journey. That is a great song, man. Great song. All right. I love you all out there. You all be good. We'll see you tomorrow.